Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
I just want to do a quick follow-up on what Chairman Barrar had asked in regards to Commissioner Solobay about retention and recruitment.
Sure.
And I understand that this is truly an issue for all of us, and we all understand that our firemen not only do they provide for our health and safety, but the real savings that they're providing us in dollars, it's a huge, huge impact on us. And we've talked for 5 years I've been here, I've heard talk about this and talk about it. Do we have any specifics? Do you have any specific plans on how we're going to recruit and retain more?
Well, again, there's many suggestions that come forward, from trying to do things on the younger folks for maybe even some type of educational assistance. Obviously, it's coming up with the resources to be able to provide for that, as well as on the more senior side or retention side, trying to look at things that would be something to entice them to stick around. With there's a length of service awards that a lot of the insurance carriers that most companies deal with have programs that could possibly reach out and do that. One of the other concerns that we tie into that is that just the ongoing side of things. So. Looking with municipal governments, seeing there's incentives that a municipal government can do. I know there's a bill right now looking at that maybe their municipal taxes for a community would be waived for that individual for their commitment. There's a variety of other programs from the state side. We had a temporary, I think it was a one-year event, where from our state income tax, those emergency providers were waived their state income tax, a stipend for them. That, along with things as basic as maybe providing their driver's license at a no cost for that emergency service provider. So there are a lot of thoughts and ideas. It becomes down to how they would be funded. And along with that small disasters plan, we also have a plan that would tie into that, looking at the relief funding mechanism that may be able to help on those retention and recruitment incentives.
And as far as the dwindling numbers, which you had mentioned earlier, are you taking any stance on regionalization, consolidation? Is there anything that we can proactively do as policymakers to help take advantage of those synergistic qualities of the different companies?
Obviously, that is also being looked at. You'll hear of the stories that I hear from folks that a department will have an incident and they'll have to reach out to 4 or 5 fire companies to be able to get that. In a rural area, sometimes it becomes a little bit difficult to merge or consolidate because of the distances, but we do have situations that we're looking at in more urban or suburban areas where a community could have 4 or 5 groups having their own venue, and sometimes you'll wonder, I use the analogy of the old Hatfield and McCoys. You and I were members of a department and we got mad at each other. I went off and started mine, you kept yours, and before you know it, you have multiple companies which use up a lot of resources. So they're starting to look at trying to see, hey, maybe bringing things together into reducing that expense side of things, which would be helpful. Also, along with that is, we did legislatively with the grant program. If you get companies that decide to go ahead and consolidate and merge, you'll give them 4 or 5. Right now it's 5 years. I know there's a proposal out there to extend that out to 10 years to let those companies still apply for it. Say if 2 or 3 companies go together, they would still be able to apply individually for those grants, just to kind of help the costs associated with the consolidation or merger. So there's definitely blueprints out there of things that we can do. It's a matter of the will, not only from a legislative side, but from a local government side, to consider some of those proposals.
And I would urge that we get something done in regards to this. Not only that, but also if we can find some way. We have a catch-22 situation with a lot of our fire departments where the fire and EMS grants are based upon reaching certain training levels, but the training costs money for them to get the training. We need to figure out a way to make it easier for these guys to get trained.
That's correct. I mean, we're looking at 2 proposals on that also with this, what I was talking about earlier, where with the proper resources, we'd be able to offer almost the training free, as well as we're looking to do an online type of program training so that a lot of the things can be done in their homes prior to, granted, there are certain things that they need to physically be present to be able to do, hose advancement, ladder placement, things like that. But there is a lot of the book work that can be done in the comfort of their home by getting on a computer and doing it, which would save them time from going out and being away from their families as well.
Yeah, and hopefully next year we won't be talking about it. We'll actually have it accomplished.
I sure hope so.
Thank you.
Thank you.